Hey everybody, welcome to my Thursday Zoom. This is when I get together with some of my people that are interested in real estate, and we talk about the industry, and we talk about how we can make it better. We talk about how we can do better in the industry, and I just appreciate you coming by. I'd love to have your ideas about what you want to talk to, and also you can send me any kind of communication during this time. Thank you for my tea. Today I'm going to talk to you about some really high-level training that I just attended, and it was in Lake Tahoe, and it was a trainer by the name of Jon Cheplak, who you may or may not have seen on social media. But I want to tell you, I've been to a lot of training in my life. I started paying for training about 8 years into the business, and that's when my career really took off. And of course, y'all know I've been in real estate for about 120 years now, so I love to see the changes in this industry. I love to keep up with it, and I do believe Cheplak is, in my opinion, the strongest trainer out there. He's put together a group of agents across the United States and Canada that are really doing things at high level. So I'm going to show you a little short video of at least the view, and don't get too jealous when you see this video, because I didn't get to see this view very much except for out the window, because he keeps you in a room and doesn't let you out except on emergencies. So here's the Lake Tahoe that was right outside the window when we were going through that training. It was fabulous. It was the day that this video was taken. It was just smooth as glass. The water was just smooth as glass. And that lake is actually, I think it's 6,000 feet above sea level. So it's actually a lake in the mountains, and it's surrounded by mountains. So it's really a beautiful place. But I didn't get to enjoy the beauty too much, because Cheplak is a hard training, hard driving taskmaster. And he keeps you in that room and keeps you sitting down, because you don't want to miss a thing. You don't even want to go to the bathroom because you might miss something. So let me just talk to you a little bit about the value of training, and the value of this training in particular, but just the value of training and why you ought to spend some money. And so often it's hard. It's hard to take time out of the business. And it's hard to spend money on training. And this was, not an inexpensive venture here. And I had a little bit of a hesitation, but I'm so glad that I did, because what I learned and what I brought back with me was of great value. So I just want to tell you that why train? I've been in this business many years. I know some of the fundamentals of the business, but let me tell you about this business. This business changes because the environment changes, people change, the way that we do business changes. So no matter how good you are, if you don't pay attention to it, skills decline. And I've met some people that really haven't ever spent any time on training, and I worry for them, because your skills do decline. So like your muscles, they atrophy if you don't go to the gym or if you don't lift some weights. So your skills will decline if you don't pay attention to them. And then add that to the changes in the market, and there's some really good reasons that you ought to be concerned about your training. You ought to be participating in training. And it's just an important part of your life if you are a real estate professional, if you want to stay in this business 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. So that's what I want to say to you. As a team leader, I'm going to talk a little bit, to team leaders. And team leaders want to facilitate it, at least this team leader, and I think many other team leaders are just like me, they want to facilitate the best environment for high-level success. As a leader, as a team leader and everything, I enjoy being around people that are succeeding in their real estate career. So I want to create an environment that allows my people the very highest level of success that I can possibly make for them. And by the way, I just signed up for something today that I heard about from an agent in Texas, And I'm going to bring that to my team, and it's a source of high-level leads that I think we're going to be excited about. And that's what the team leader needs to be concerned about all the time, that bringing the right leads in. What avenues are you using to bring those right leads? And then how are you training your people to handle those leads and get the best outcome? So I want you to encourage you to stay in training, because there'll always be a what's next in your business if you're thinking about this business right. And you read that book, The Enemy of Great is Good. And I'm afraid I talk to too many agents that say, oh yeah, I'm doing pretty good, I'm doing good, I'm good. But they're not doing their business to their highest level of potential. So one of the reasons for that is, you just have a fixed mindset. Failure is the limit of your abilities. That's a failure mindset. And in saying I'm either good or I'm not good at something is a fixed mindset. Saying my potential is predetermined. My family was this way. They did this, and so my family is going to do this. So I'm going to stick with what I know. And they take feedback and criticism as personal. And I want to let you know that those are the things that will contribute to stopping your growth. And there's a saying, I love to listen to these sayings of young people. And there's a saying out there, I think it means mind your own business, but it's stay in your lane, and people say it real kind of snippy. They'll say, stay in your lane. Well, I want to tell you, don't stay in your lane. Don't do it. You need to get out of your lane, as a matter of fact, because growth is what's important. So when you look at this next slide, you're going to see something that I love a lot. You see the smaller little circle is your comfort zone. And then you've got this big circle up here that says this is where the magic happens in your career. And I love this so much, and I saw this at a radio station I was at one time, that I had a mural painted in my office. And this is a big one, because I know this is where the magic happens for my agents and for me, because I get to observe their first sale. I get to observe the first time they're closed 6 deals in 1 month. I get to observe that magic. And to me, that is very, very important. So I want to ask you, don't keep repeating the same old patterns in your life. You're going to have to do something different to get some different outcomes. And right now we've got a changing market. There's lots of reasons that people are pulling back and kind of contracting, because the economy's contracting. Why shouldn't I contract? Well, the truth is you're going to have to work 2 times as hard in order to thrive in this economy. And there's some really great reasons for you to do that. But I want to give you a little idea about what a growth mindset is like. And one of those is that failure is an opportunity to grow. And this is really, really important, because I think most people just, when they have a failure, it freezes them up. And I can remember times in my career where, a failure with a buyer or a seller just devastated me. It just devastated me. And then as I got a little bit stronger and everything, it bothered me maybe for a couple of days. And then as I got a little bit stronger, a failure, you want to assess a failure. When you've had a failure, you want to say, okay, what could I have done better? But you don't resonate on it for days and weeks at a time, because your job is to assess it quickly and to move forward. So I know that a growth mindset is inspired by the success of others. And a non-growth mindset is not inspired. The jealousy, the pettiness, and that's actually one of the things. I won't go off on that tangent too much, but there's an interesting panel at this mastermind that I attended about women in business and all that kind of thing. And I'm, look, guys, I'm a woman in business for over 25 years. I love the opportunity that we have for women in real estate. And I have to say that room of really high-powered, top-level team leaders had I say few more men than it did women. And so there was a little bit of that going on. And one thing I can tell you about men in business, and I've actually learned a lot from men in business. I haven't ever had a male mentor, that's for sure. But men, they're raised different. If you really think about it, they are raised different. I raised 2 sons and 1 daughter. And my daughter seemed more fragile. Maybe that was my perception. My sons, I let them go on out there. My daughter, I'd probably pick her up and carry her someplace. So I think we're a little bit tougher on our guys. Another thing that I think makes men a little bit different in business is not only their upbringing, but also many of them have a military background. And I think the military teaches brotherhood and it teaches teamwork. And so I've been, I admired that about men. And they're not necessarily, I know men have got their faults, believe me, I got that, okay? But, it's truly true that on a football team, if the goal is to get the ball in the hoop or in the end zone, they're going to work together. They are working together no matter what they feel like off the field. When they get on that field, they're there to win. So there's a lot of great things that I've learned about men, and that's interesting. So I want you to understand that your success in this business or any other business is largely determined by your ability to take feedback as constructive rather than personal. I think about the guys who watch the football games where they messed up royally and they watch that over again and they figure out how not to do that again. And they have an attitude of, a lot of men are thrill seekers and like adventures and jumping out of planes and stuff like that. I'm not going to go that far, but I like to try new things. And I want you to have a growth mindset that says you can learn to do anything you really want to do, you can learn how to do. So even though this little talk that I'm having with you today talks a little bit about team leaders, I want you to understand everybody's a leader. But I want you to be in the pursuit of mastery. And leaders that are in the pursuit of mastery always edify themselves and others. They allow themselves to be led. There's things that I learned in this mastermind that will change my business forever. Now, that is a true story. I'm learning still after 100 years in real estate, I'm actually still learning some things. So one of the things that I want to be more intentional about is just giving away credit to the incredible people I've got on my team, because I have got some true winners. As a matter of fact, I think we do have that Navy SEAL team with a real high per agent income. So I just want to raise the lid for the agents that are in my life. I want to help them track their business and go to a higher level. So here's the thing, that even though I'm talking a lot to team leaders and about a team in real estate, if you're living, you are leading, and you are leading somebody just to begin with yourself. It's in my team, I don't want it to be all about the team leader. You're doing life with other people. You're there to be their lighthouse, their support. And just, I just want to ask you, are you a big thinker or a little thinker? Because playing small never helped anybody. It never helped anybody. So you've got to win. You've got to have that winner's attitude. And the winner's attitude is really a ruthless commitment for personal development. We in America have really idealized retirement. Now, here's an interesting fact. Do you know what the number one, the number one indicator of when somebody's going to die is retirement? Actually, I have a family member, I won't go into it too much, but they worked for the state, and they worked for the state government, and they stayed there because it was steady and it was strong, and they were doing the thing for their family, and just really hated every minute of it. Was there for 30 years or 40 years or whatever, and and actually had something else that they really wanted to spend their time doing, but they never could cut that string and do that other thing. And it was amazing that they were gone within a year and a half after retirement. So here's an interesting thought. You owe more to life than just caring for your family. You know, it's a great thing. Your family ought to be first. You ought to be concerned about caring for your family, but you ought to be also concerned about contributing to the others that you go through life with. And you can help more than just your family. So success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person that you come. And that's the reason I'm talking about this personal development goal and journey that we're all on to be the best person that we can possibly be. Here's an interesting statistic. You know, during the last recession, resulted in a 17% increase in the number of millionaires out there and a 19% increase in their net worth. How'd you like for your net worth to go up 20%? How'd you like to become a multi-millionaires? There's always a gift in the crisis, guys. There's always a gift in the crisis. But part of your job is to sweat during the training. And, you know, if you want to get paid like a pro athlete, which I think the next slide says, you're going to have to sweat in the training. And the training is you're going to have to pay a little bit more for training than you thought you wanted to. You're going to have to sit in that room longer when you'd rather be out walking by the lake like I just went through. And you're going to have to learn how to love training and collaboration. And you're going to have to collaborate with people at a high level, like the people in that room were incredibly high level professionals. And so it was a joy and a thrill to collaborate with them and to learn from them and hopefully give my part as well. So I actually have a goal in real estate to find the people that will just leave me in the dust and become a higher producer. I want to hire people that are really sharper than me in many ways. So the team attitude is always we are stronger together, and I believe that. I believe we're moving into a new era in business that is much more team-based than singular-based. So, and I think real estate, if you want to, the honest truth with real estate is real estate companies have discouraged teams because they knew. They wanted to keep us pitted against each other. And they loved, you know, real estate is competitive. And they wanted to keep that wall up between us, that wall of competitiveness. And I'd rather see it be more of the brotherhood, like I described that I think some men have. Some of that we're going to win. We're going to win this. So I just want to say to you, you're on a journey of growth to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And, you know, it really doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how thin you are, how tall you are, how petite you are. Whatever you think of yourself in those times when you're a little bit down and you're not thinking the best of yourself, you're on a journey to become your very best self. And I think that's a thrilling thing that you can do. So in a team, I want my team to always have the right attitude. And the right attitude to me and what I would give to my team is we came here to win for my buyers and for my sellers. We came here to win. It doesn't matter, good market, poor market, we came here to win for the seller, for the buyer. And I think if you keep that in your heart, that will always help you and guide you when you're doing things. It's not for you, and too many times agents get that confused. It's more about them, but it's not. It's about the buyer, it's about the seller, it's about the relationship and deep connection that you can make. So I'm going to leave you with this thought, which I thought was a good one. The question is, what's the one thing that you need to change that will change everything else in your life? And that's a deep question that I want you to ask yourself in a very quiet time, and I want you to think seriously about change and what it can do for you, what it can do for your life in so many areas, not just in your business, but in every area of your life. So, hey guys, thanks for coming by. I love it when you join me Send me some questions, send me some topics you want to talk about. And just remember, if I can help you in any way, I'd love to talk to you about real estate. I'd love to sit down, spend some time with you. So have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.